I suggested a segment where Sanjay and I just make Indian food.
I would love to see
I think it would be great. So I think if you think we should do it, let us know.
Love that.
I'm going to have some
Should we drink our cold chai?
Hey, it's lukewarm.
Lukewarm. Time to slurp.
Okay.
Good to see you.
I haven't slurped
Esther,
yet.
let's hear your slurp. Hey, that was strong.
Oh, it's not warm. It is ice cold.
Hold on, let me try.
This is steeped. This is serious.
Seriously steeped. Esther, lovely to have you with us.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I feel like I'm on your podcast, you two,
And I want you to know that you should feel that way.
but I'm glad to be in the room anyway. Nice
You're
to have
welcome.
you here. Can you tell us who you are? Because people might not know you.
I don't know how to introduce myself when people ask me this. I'm like, what do you want? What? I don't know what to say.
It's hard, isn't it?
Tell me your
a bit
name.
awkward.
Tell me what you do when you're not here on our podcast. And tell me what is your favourite way to spend a day off. Go.
Ooh. I'm Esther, and I'm a secondary school teacher. I teach the glamorous subject of English, which everyone loves.
Come on.
And on my day off, what's my favourite thing to do? Depends.
You haven't said see me yet, and I
won't lie to you, Sanjay. Welcome to our podcast.
Yeah.
There was a school holiday, a half term, and I didn't want to admit it, but I basically saw Ria every day.
Yeah.
For like the whole day.
And I
Like you
genuinely
two are
think...
sisters without being sisters, aren't you,
Basically.
basically?
Do you know, I do think that we saw each other the most that week, even though we spent a year living together. Like,
Yeah,
I don't think there was a week
Oh,
we
I
saw
see.
each other
It's just
every
more-
day.
It was intentional. in
Very.
that
It was lovely.
part.
Like, because we just have time off together, which is such a win.
Yeah.
Because the assumption is, I'll just see you. And it's just what happens.
I love that.
Then we
It was
get
fantastic.
up to random stuff.
And because you've been here with us, it feels like,
8 years
So
now?
why would you say 8? It's not 8 yet. It's 7.
7 years.
No, because I've been here 7 years. And you've been here a year. No,
Yeah, no, you've been here 6.
I didn't. Yeah.
No one knows. A while.
A long time.
And you came as a student to the
I
city.
still feel like I'm 19
Yeah.
and just like discovering Lighthouse for the first time.
Yeah. But you came and because you got baptized here, like your whole spiritual journey has kind of been
At
moving.
Lighthouse, yeah.
And then you joined this quite international but South Asian focused church.
Yes.
Why have you stuck around?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I just loved it. I think I felt so welcomed. I met your parents, I guess your in-laws, and they were basically like, just come to church. And I was like, okay. And then I don't think I noticed that it was so different to even my church growing up, because I was just like, oh, everyone's just nice. It's just a normal church.
Yeah.
But I think as time has passed, I've become slightly more South-Asian.
I know, like,
I just know
not,
stuff that I probably like have
love
no
that.
business knowing.
Yeah.
not in a weird way,
just
but
know it.
sometimes I forget you're Indian. And that, I mean that in like a
Interesting.
huge compliment.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm ethnically ambiguous now.
I think I forget.
subscribe to
Yeah.
different places.
Like sometimes
Fluid.
you'll-
Ethnically fluid.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sometimes
Is
you'll
it
talk to
ethnically
me
fluid.
in like,
Yeah.
sometimes you'll talk to me in like my mother tongue.
I know, because you just teach me stuff.
And I'm like,
Oh, wow.
what?
I need to teach you stuff.
Is it just a product of being around Ria?
Probably.
Yeah, it's
I
like
mean,
osmosis. And everyone
Again,
else.
yeah, everyone else.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just, if you go to Lighthouse,
Yeah.
you will just eventually just pick stuff
But
up.
it's not that foreign because you obviously, you've grown up in a Nigerian home.
Yeah,
There are similarities.
100%.
Like,
100%.
We've had so many conversations about this. Like, tell me some of your favorite like immigrant households, like starter pack. If you were telling
Starter
someone,
pack.
yeah, what is it? What does
the
it mean?
uninitiated.
Yeah.
Do you know the core memory is just getting ready for school? There are three of us. My sister, my brother, and myself, and getting ready for school was a conveyor belt. My parents did not mess around. We'd had no time. Two parents, working jobs. You just need to get ready. You need to go. So one person's in the bathtub. Mum's scrubbing your face. You can't breathe. You can't hear.
You don't have a choice, do you?
You don't even need to speak because the soap is everywhere.
Yeah.
And for some reason, they need to scrub really vigorously.
Yeah.
And you close your eyes so hard that when
Yeah.
you open them, you're like, will I ever see again? I don't know.
like-
Like, there's like spots.
Yeah. And then I'm out, and then my dad's drying me vigorously again. Body cream vigorously.
And it's not the little like
No,
it's
no,
the
no.
thick one,
all
this
over
one
my
and
face.
this scoop.
All over my face.
Yeah.
And then the Vapour rub.
Before school.
Yes.
Okay.
On my chest because God forbid. It's cold in the UK.
Yes.
It's cold.
I would like to say that you have adopted the vigorous vapor rubbing
Yeah,
technique.
I always, whenever
because
Ria's sick, vigorous Vapour
I-
rub
It
on
lives
the
on
chest.
in you.
it
Yeah,
does.
Like it's
I'm
like-
like to Sean, Ria's sick, put Vapour rub on her. Okay.
Do you know what
What's
the
that
vapor
about?
the vapor rub thing is definitely it's like
You've got
my mother-in-law is very very insistent on the vapor rub
Sanjay.
for
it's-
us and our
it's-
children.
It's good for you.
Yeah,
Now let me ask
yeah.
you another
It's
question.
good. No, I'm not denying that.
Did your mum let you leave the house without a vest?
Not even vest, thermals. We had leggings and tops we had to wear, and I kid you not, there were. I saw you like grew older, and I started to notice. Hold on, Henry doesn't wear thermals. Susie doesn't wear thermals. Why is it just me? I'm gonna rebel. I'm not gonna wear my thermals today. Let's see what happens. So after a very vigorous shower, vigorous body dry, vigorous body cream, I said, today's the day. I'm not wearing my leggings or
rebellion to
my
your mum.
vest. Yeah.
Okay.
And I just put my school clothes on, smelling a Vapour up, go downstairs.
I can hear the noise that was about to happen.
Yeah.
Come here. I turn around and I'm like, yes, mom. She's like, where is your vest? I'm like, she's like, go and put it back on. I start screaming. So I go and put my vest back on. And my mom used to say, if I hear, it's over.
That's it.
So when I did get a cough, I had to hold my lips like this.
Oh my gosh.
My mum
Silently
used to
coughing
wrap
in the
me
corner because it was
so
my fault.
hard in thermals.
It was my fault.
That I would like walk to school and I'm sweating, and because we also
Yeah.
wore like jumper, shirt, blazer. Oh
was
my gosh, it was like a
smelling.
furnace.
Yeah.
Because my mum made me wear thermals in July.
And then my dad would make us wear scarf, hat, gloves every day.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm surprised
Every
I
day.
didn't go into crime because I wore a straight up balaclava every day, covered me head to toe, just see my
Every day.
eyes.
I was never cold.
And my glasses are steamed
You were
up.
like dressed for crime by your parents.
100%.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Is there for you like culturally, and then was it a Christian home that you grew up in, but then within that kind of, were there cultural things that made sense for you being a Christian and being Nigerian, in Britain? What did that feel like in your life?
So yeah, both my parents are Christians,
Yeah.
and it was just very normal to just go to church. Growing up, we went to like an international church, so
Yeah.
there were other Nigerians who were at church, but I just assumed most people went to church on a Sunday, and then
You were primed for an
yeah,
international church.
I went to Tesco, carry my Bible after church, would go and have like chicken, go and buy chicken and whatever, and I'd be
Alright.
walking around the supermarket with my Bible. I'm wondering, why don't you have a Bible? Why are you not at church? Why did you not stack some chairs? Like, it's Sunday, go to church.
Yeah.
So it's very normal. My parents were really big on being at church every Sunday. And I think that was my dad especially. He would wake up in the morning, blast Hillsong, clean the whole house, wash the cars. Before church. And then he's there setting out the chairs.
Wow.
And then he says, I better see you there 10:30 a.m. My mum, she relaxed, she vibes. She ran on African time. So we would get to church at like 11:45. But luckily my dad was already there to save us the seats.
Yes.
So church was just a very like normal part of growing up.
By the way, is African time more delayed than Indian
Yes.
Standard Time?
I would say so.
It depends on your family.
Really?
I would say on our wedding day, I told my family 9 a.m. get there. Our wedding did not start till 12:30, but I just needed to make sure that it happened.
They were there on time.
And to be all credit to them, they were there on time. They did
were.
wait for 6 hours. They were like, "Where is she?"
There was a wedding I went to once where there was an Indian girl marrying like a mixed race guy. He was his dad was Nigerian, I think. We got to the wedding when it said to get to the wedding.
Why would you do that?
Well, this is I know it's a weird error, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't
You're
understand.
clearly not that
But
Asian.
but it wasn't in Southampton. It was away, so we had to drive there. So we got there, and the minister had sort of just opened the building. No, literally
okay.
nothing was happening.
No.
We were there
Just
on
you.
time, and then he kind of ambled around and then went off for lunch. Whilst it was 2 hours later before anything began.
Oh my
I
gosh.
do think wedding days, we need to just pull it together just a
I know.
little bit.
That was quite
just
quite
a
an
little bit.
experience.
That's so funny.
But you're right. I think we
But-
should have known. I think we should have
Yeah,
guessed.
2 to 3 hours is standard. So my mum had a birthday party when she was 55, started at 4. She didn't get there until 7. And that was a birthday party.
For her.
And for
do
her.
you know what?
She was
I
just getting changed,
love
genuinely.
that because aunties build in that suspense.
It's a bit stressful
Yeah.
though when you have to plan like events.
Fashionably
but
late.
your mum's a queen, and so therefore she arrives precisely when she means to.
Yeah.
and I
And why are
fully
you getting
respect
mad?
it.
Why are you
It's her day.
angry that
It's her day.
you've waited 3 hours? Just eat some food and just, don't
chill
come
out.
on time.
Yeah, great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you had that quite strong Christian early
Yes.
influence.
Yeah.
And then how does life progress from there for you?
Yeah, so church every week, all the nativities, all the home groups. It was
Did you ever play Mary?
yes, loads of tea
course.
towels on
Yeah.
the head. Had a weird like fusion British Nigerian upbringing, like primary school eating custard, going home Vapour rub, and just Nigerian food, and it definitely
Get
felt
you a
like
girl who could do both custard and Vapour rub
lumpy custard. Primary school
with school cake.
Yeah, with school cake. Anyway, yeah, that was very normal for us. And then when I was 10, my dad passed away from cancer. And that was a really weird time of our lives because it was quite short. It was a very short time between us finding out that he had cancer and then him passing away. It was literally a year of
Wow.
him rapidly deteriorating. It was just unfortunate they caught the cancer at the later stages, so there wasn't really anything anyone could do. So it was just a year of basically nursing him and making him as comfortable as he could be. But big transition for my family. We literally moved house, and it was like I think the same month that they told us that my dad had cancer. And it was like a time almost of new beginnings for my family, but suddenly it was like, this is a massive new beginning, but we also realized eventually that our dad wasn't going to be part of our lives.
The future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when
It's a
you're
new
10,
beginning, but loads of loss is huge.
yeah, it was just a strange time. And when you're 10, you don't really, I didn't really understand what cancer was. I just knew it was bad. I didn't really understand how it was going to affect things or what it would be like for my dad not to be there because he just was. Yeah, but he passed away, and I just have this distinct memory of my mum pulling us all together, and she was like, right, it's just the 4 of us now. We've just got to stick by each other and get through this.
Wow.
And she was like, let's go.
Your mum sounds very sort of like a tough,
Yeah.
strong kind of
I
woman.
think she's had to be, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's really had to just grab us and just go, basically. She's like, really have God, we just have to go now. Yeah. But that also, I think, shifted our experience of church because my mum just had to work more.
Yeah.
She had 3 kids, a new house, like all these things happening.
Yeah.
And so we stopped going to church as frequently. And then there was loads of other things that happened. And I think I mentioned church so much because it was just a massive part of shaping my faith at that age. And so when you stop going to that, you kind of stop practicing things that you've learnt sometimes.
Yeah.
You're not as surrounded by, your community of believers. And again, at the age of 10, you're just like, oh, okay, well, now we just don't really go to church.
Yeah.
And a lot shifted for our family in that time. It was really hard. Yeah, but just processing what it means to live life without my dad, I guess, was the big thing.
Yeah. What has that been like as you learn to get to know and love God as your Heavenly Father? Like, how has that impacted you? Because I think, the three of us, we all come from very vastly different experiences of, I guess, fatherhood. Like, you have had a brilliant dad who we love, and you are now a brilliant dad, and we get the honor of watching you raise your kids and just feeling pride to know you in that. And then you lost your dad at a young age, and he was present and consistent and a really big pillar of your faith. And for me, my family, like when I was 10, my parents split up, and my dad was just not a very loving guy, and he we kind of left on bad terms, and I haven't seen him for a really long time. And so I guess like I would love to hear from both of you of how that has shaped your view of God, because I think what an integral part of our faith, right, and our walk with Jesus is knowing and loving God the Father. So yeah,
that is a good question. I think for me, it's interesting. One of the biggest struggles I have in my faith is this idea that God leaves. So I do something crazy enough for God to be like, right, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm out, and just gets up and goes. And I don't think I'd previously linked this to having experienced such sudden death. Because I was 10 and I didn't really expect my dad to die the way he did. He was there. He went to hospital the next day. He didn't come back. And we're like, oh, okay. And now and what does that even mean? But I have a sense of, well, I guess a fear of loss in that sense, especially in my relationship with God. Interesting, because if anyone is dependable, it's God. And Jesus literally signed his commitment to us with his life, with his blood. Yet that is something that can sometimes kind of creep into my mind, and I can operate out of that fear, which then tends to drive a lot of like fear-driven behavior of, okay, how can I keep you here, God? Like, how can I, almost like gain my salvation through works, essentially.
Yeah, and like, how can you be pleasing God enough
that he won't leave,
he won't run away?
Does that consume, I guess, like decisions you make or people you have in your life or relationships? Like how has that, I guess, affected you?
I think it affects my ability to trust that God is who he says he is. And that can then impact my ability to trust other people who are like, I'm here for you, I'm not going any. I'm like, okay, cool. You probably will, because I'm used to having to build a certain resilience of experiencing people leave and just again then picking up and getting on with it. But I guess the challenge with Christ in that is people fall short, right? But Jesus is constant. And there's just, it's undeniable. Like, it's undeniable love. You can't ignore. There's no way I can hide from it. No angle I can look at it from. He is constantly loving and constantly choosing to be there. And that then challenges my ability to kind of love other people as well. And learn to trust
some
other
of
people.
The sort of narrative that you've experienced.
Yeah.
So do you feel like it's rewiring some of that?
Definitely being transformed by the renewing of my mind daily. I was even thinking about it today, about how I was thinking of the story of the woman at the well, and she was so desperate for Jesus to like, just tell me where this living water is so I never have to come back to this well again. And what she really meant by that was, tell me where the water is so I don't have to keep coming back here to be confronted with my shame and my sin and kind of public ridicule from all these other people. So just give me the water so I can be with my husband, quote unquote, my boyfriend in our house. Bye. But Jesus in that moment was inviting her to come in all her brokenness, all her messiness. Like those 5 husbands that had been and gone didn't faze him. He said his response to her was, go and bring your husband and come here. And I was like, oh, that feels like me. Like I'm very quick to be like, oh, just give me the, I'm going to tell you the kind of the answer I think you want to hear. Like, just give me the quick fix so I don't have to keep coming back here and revealing myself to you and like doing all this work. And I think this morning when I was thinking about it, God was asking me, do you trust me? And I had a very long pause because my initial answer most of the time is, of course I trust you. You're literally, you're the king, you're Lord Jesus. Like, of course I trust you. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized, like the woman, I was afraid of how much my brokenness and my sin and my lack of trust would almost like be too much for God.
Yeah.
As if he didn't make me, as if he didn't put me together in my mother's womb, right?
And as if he doesn't know your
me.
story and your all.
And he
And
didn't
all
die
these
for you knowing your story, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's a very regular challenge of him reminding me, Esther, I'm showing up for you. I'm here for you. I love you. Come to me. Let's walk through life together. And maybe it's harder for me to do because I with God, because I don't have a dad that I can sit through and be like, hey, there's this thing happening right now.
Yeah.
And I have amazing people in my life who support me through so much. But I guess there's a very unique place and a very special place for fathers in people's lives.
I mean, what's always amazed me, Esther, about you is like, there's a couple of things. One, you've often relied on scripture, the way that you read the Bible. We were joking before, every Bible you own is like falling to pieces. Because your life is not falling to pieces. And
Thank you, Jesus.
because you have come to that realization. I don't know if maybe it's just the strong upbringing you had. Maybe it's having gone through some of this sadness and grief and suffering of your own. But you have a dependence on the word of God. You rely on the scriptures. You know the scriptures well. I often think when you share about insights that the Lord's giving you in your, I'm always really like, we've been in the same collective and group for a long time, and like I hear those insights, and I'm often very inspired by them because I think there's a depth in that there's something solid about.
It's like not rooted in you. It's rooted in what you know of Jesus.
Yeah, and so you're not coming back to your feelings being the king of your life, like the thing that directs what you're going to do in terms of faith. You come back to the scriptures, which that's what really comes over to me. And I think that there's something very powerful about that when you think of absences in your life, because emotion is quite easy to follow, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
And we are emotional beings, so we're not meant to switch that off. But reading the Bible, understanding the scriptures, knowing who God's character is as truths to you, must be even more important when you do have gaps and suffering that you're walking with, because you need those truths. To know that God is steady and a rock beneath our feet and all those other things, right?
Yeah, for sure. And God in his great unchanging nature will keep reminding me of those things every single day.
Yeah.
Like I can guarantee you tomorrow he'll be who he is today, because that's just who he says he is, right? So there's never going to be a day where he will change any of those things.
Yeah.
And that to me is a great comfort in my grief and in my figuring out what life looks like without a dad. Because I just know, well, I'll see you tomorrow with it, God. Like you will be God. You will be who you say you are.
Yeah.
So it is well with my soul, as my mum always says.
Good reminder. It's so different for me. I had sort of the opposite, where dad who was present, who had gone through a lot of challenges to create the home that we had and the family that we had. And so my brother and I grew up in an environment which felt very safe all the time and very intentional and crafted, maybe very much like the earlier years of your life. And I've had the gift of that continuing in lots of ways, so there's I've always thought of standing on the shoulders of giants. Like, my dad's not that tall, but metaphorically on the shoulders of giants, because I've had not just dad but other men in my life who have, and I think there is something about that, having godly men, whether we are men or women, above us, that will lead and guide and set a standard and all that stuff. So I've had that, and it's been a privilege. I always remember my dad sort of I think I've shared it before, but his dad was not like that for him. And one of his mandates for his own being a dad and his own sort of leadership of the home was about setting a tone that was not like the one he received. Whereas for me, it would be to learn from and emulate even half of that,
Wow. Yeah.
And so that is a gift that in church leadership, you see all sorts of brokenness and difficulty, and so I've learned that to be a really important thing that I have to recognize. It's not a given. I can't take it for granted. It's a gift in my life, and so that's huge. And that would inform how I want to be a dad, how I want to.
Well, we've had the joy of seeing how it has.
Oh, yeah.
It is a great privilege.
Yes.
That's good. I'm glad. And we're figuring it out. We've got our own challenges in that, but there's a lot of learning about the role that you were describing. Seeing God as Father comes pretty easily to me because I've seen what that can look like in an earthly sense, in a good way, and recognizing that a father is a person of encouragement and safety and challenge and hope and all these things, and I often think of that in my own role as a dad. I am representing, in one sense, the first experience my children will have of authority, of love, of safety, of guidance, and that is in and of itself presenting some kind of image of God as they discover who He is. And so that's a huge responsibility, in that. But for you, it's a bit different, isn't it, to both of us? Your sort of journey was marked by a bit more, again, a different kind of tragedy.
Yeah, I think that I would say that I find it really hard to trust God, which is feels like a terrible thing to say because it feels like the basics. And I think that I actually have only come to the realization that I struggle to trust God in the last 5 years. Probably the most in the last couple years. Just having never had a dad I could trust not to leave, trust not to hurt me. And I think that I've been hurt by my dad in so many ways, but it feels more risky now because I'm like, well, if my dad hurt me, it would hurt. But if God hurt me, I don't think I could imagine what that would feel like. And so I think I am, and I'm still on this journey, which kind of feels terrible because I spend all of my days telling kids that God is the best Heavenly Father and that He loves them to bits and is mad about them. And I know it's true. I believe it with my life, and I hope that is reflected in it. But I think when it comes to the core of myself and just my faith, I'm like, man, trusting in God feels really, really hard.
We've often talked about it, haven't we? That idea of seeing God as Father or spending alone time.
It's the intimacy that terrifies me. And I'm learning it in small ways and growing in it. But I think it has been a journey for me and still is. And I feel like a fraud most days because I feel like I'm a little bit like Aladdin. I'm like, when are they going to discover that I'm really a poor street rat and I am not a prince? And I don't know. I hear God being like, well, I knew, and it's okay. Yeah. I love you.
But I think that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
We? I don't know if you've. that kind of imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Even with a lot of good influence, that still can be there. And I think we have to be honest about that, because being a Christian isn't, and even the most mature Christians aren't sure of themselves in that sense, because to be a Christian, you have to recognize you don't have any assurances in yourself.
Yeah.
But it can feel like, to onlookers who have been around you for a long time, especially in a church setting, you think, well, those people have got it all together. Those ones they understand God completely. Their prior life's amazing. They relate to God, in this really intimate, beautiful way. And oh, well, I don't have that, so I must have it all wrong. That's such a common thing I come against.
I think I'm learning that God made me like me and not like Sanjay or Esther, and that's okay.
Praise the Lord for that.
I am created to
Amen.
know and love God, just at a slower pace.
Yeah.
There's a little boy at church, and I, in a like not strange way, just like observe him every week. And we have like, the bit at the front where all the kids play with their ribbons, and I have watched him over the course of many months. He'll sit with his mum, and then one week he's like looking, and he's like, I really want to join in. You can see it in his eyes. And then one day he stood up, and I was like, oh, he stood up. Probably very distracted at this point during worship. And one day I watched him like take a step forward. And then the next day, the week after, he went back to his mum. He was like, I'm not ready. I can't do it. And over the course of these months, I've watched him slowly move closer to the kids. And often he'll check behind to see if his mum's there. And she's like, it's okay. And slowly, she'll go and she'll encourage him to pick up the ribbons. And now he's like willing to pick up the ribbons. He's willing to play. But there are some days where he has to go back to mum with his ribbon. Or there's some days where he just can't bring himself to do it. And I feel like there was this one Sunday where I feel like God was like, this is how I see you. Like, you're getting there. Like, very, very slow steps. But no matter how long it takes, like, I'm always there being like, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And so...
That's a really good picture, because actually it's an important thing to say. Yes, God is represented as Father.
Yeah.
But there are lots of maternal images of God too. I think of Jesus looking over Jerusalem weeping, how I've longed to gather you as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings. It's this kind of incredible maternal love over the people.
Yeah.
So God does identify with that. And like, I'm just thinking about both of you guys with your mums. And like my mum too, just very influential, very incredible as a parent to give, particularly in your scenarios with such difficult circumstances, to continue to lead you, to guide you. That's a really beautiful picture of probably, whether they've known it or not, your mums have provided for you guys to go out and to be confident and to look at what you both at now. It's
the day
amazing.
our mums meet each other hasn't happened yet.
That will be a...
Has it not?
No. The world will explode, I think.
My gosh.
It will, because it's going to be like a force
We could
of nature.
do the meet on the podcast.
Maybe we should.
No, let's not do that. That
No, I do. I think that whatever stage you're at, like whatever kind of influence of a father you've had, I think everyone's on this journey. And I think you're right. I think it's a mistake to think that everyone who's had it easier, or everyone who has a great dad or whatever, or a present dad or whose dad hasn't died, just like has it figured out. I remember seeing this girl, and I remember my whole life thinking, if only I'd had a dad around, X, Y, and Z. And to an extent, that's true, right? But I remember there was this girl that I knew a long time ago, and she had everything I could have ever wanted. Beautiful woman, had all, like, very gifted, very talented, loving Christian parents. And I have watched her, like, not know who she is her whole life. And I remember watching her and thinking, it's not the hand that I've been dealt, it's what I do with the hand that I've been dealt, right? And I get to choose to pursue a relationship with Jesus when that's really difficult. Like, you get to choose to pursue a relationship with God when you're like, I don't know if he's going to leave me tomorrow.
and there's some glory in those challenges, isn't there? That the hands that were dealt are not fair. Life is not fair. God doesn't seem to set it up that way. And yet he's fair. He's just. And so you know, I wonder for you, Esther, the things that you have to push through to trust God. There are gifts in that
Yes, for
that
sure.
come through. Do you feel that?
Oh, for sure. I was also thinking today while I was hanging my laundry, very exciting, but I was just thinking about how God uses every situation in our life to show us the cross. Like everything that's death always is resurrected in life with God. That's just
That's the gospel.
to life, even, sorry. That's just what he does. There's nothing that he can't bring to life. And so the gift I'm really given in every challenge and in every kind of suffering I experience is to know the sweet, like just the nearness of God.
Yeah.
There's something so sweet about it. And I think you have to suffer to learn it, and it has to be unique to you. I don't know if I should say you have to suffer, but I do think suffering and death is part of the resurrection story, right? So it's not a surprise to me that in a lot of our lives we experience death and we experience like really hard things, but the good news for us as Christians is that that's not the end of the story, right?
Yeah.
It always will end in resurrection. And so I can have hope that even and maybe this is something I need to pray more into. I don't know what having an earthly father necessarily completely looks like, but I have hope that God will bring resurrection to it and bring life, and he has already in men that I've met at church who love me so dearly, and I could not have asked for more. Like Raki's dad could cry. He's
been a father to us,
to both
in
of us,
ways we could never describe.
for sure. And that I've said to him, I'll have to die after you. Like, you're just gonna have to live until you're like 300, and you're gonna have to be okay with it, because
We've literally told him he's just not allowed.
not allowed.
But like we'll
take that up with God.
We buy him a Father's Day card every Father's Day because he has filled that role in our lives in a huge way. Yeah.
But then I was also thinking, I think the flip side of that is there might be people who don't have that community yet. And I think the key thing to still hold on to is God still brings resurrection. He still brings new life out of this death. And so actually, it might not look like someone coming into your life and being that father figure, but that doesn't mean we can't limit the way God does his things, right?
Yeah.
Like it could look
Yeah,
completely
it's not
different.
the answer isn't necessarily a replacement all the time.
No.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, thank you.
But it is the satisfaction of knowing God and his presence.
Yeah.
Is
That
the
is
sweetness
possible.
and there's resurrection in that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like for me, Sean has been a very big marker of that. I think every time Sean is wonderful and kind and selfless, he is a reminder of Christ. But every time Sean drives me nuts and he doesn't get me and he doesn't care for me in the way I need him to, it also points me to Christ, because I'm like, oh, you're better, Lord. And I think that is there's just lots of redemptive ways that God shows us just how he will take residence in your life and he's not leaving.
Yeah.
Amen. Yeah.
Well, I'm very inspired. Very inspired by these thoughts.
Let's talk about that.
What's that?
I'm spreading the church news, guys. Announcement. Raki's ring has been not even upgraded. It's been triple graded. Sanjay said you
It's because they got married when he didn't have
He
a real
£2.50.
job.
Now Sanjay has £25.
I also still don't feel like
Do
I
you
have a real
think that
job.
when Sean's like the head of the police, I'm gonna get a
I guess who's going to pick it? Me. I'll say, get that one for you. Sanjay, Raki was just walking past. I didn't see it. Boom.
Yeah.
Just there. I said,
Birthday.
yeah, that's
Do you know what I've
she
learned?
said.
Do you know what I've learned after 13 years of marriage? Jewelry is a good shout.
She looks, have you not seen it?
No.
It will see you. That's what it will shine. You will see it.
I'm
It'll
so
just-
excited. I'm so excited.
I know. That's what I
Do you know,
said to her.
That's
You're
what
a
I've
good
read,
man.
but it has taken a long time to get to that realization. I've bought
It's
a lot
taken
of
a
bad.
long
I've
time
bought
to save all my
a lot of bad
£1.
presents. I've bought a lot of bad presents.
So Sean is not a gift, like a gift receiving person.
Oh, he's not gift receiving.
He doesn't like it, and
No.
he doesn't really like gifts. And he never told me that for the first 4 years we dated. And he then told me that he threw away most of the gifts I got him because he's like, I
know what
didn't
to
need
do
it. Like, I don't want it.
Wow.
He's like make a list, buy him the thing on his list kind of man.
Wow.
I don't think Raki or I are especially gift people. She's very good at buying gifts and very good,
She's
very
very
generous.
cute.
But I've been bad at gifts. I've missed. There were, like sometimes
Three children's pretty good.
Yeah, there exactly. But in terms of the, we had like agreements at Christmas. Let's not buy each other anything. We don't need to do that. And then she would buy me something. What I've learned is you don't take that seriously.
Right.
That's a fail.
Do you know that most men don't learn that? Like,
I feel like a decade and a bit in, I'm getting there.